Hey, it's Richard here, Richard Mazel. I'm in my club at Kenzen Sports Karate, and I really wanted to make a video about how my story is our story when it comes to karate. You know, the really great thing about the last few weeks is that in the karate world and everything that's happening, I'm really becoming more self-aware. Who I am and what we're doing. And what is our story? In mainstream karate, what is our story? It's different karate styles came together to try and do something bigger than just themselves. You know, like multi-sport events, like multi-karate events where they have tournaments together, they create teams together. You know, at the world level, it was when they created the World Karate Federation, or the old WUKO. And then more at a provincial or state level, you know what's really cool about what we do is we get out of our ecosystem and we gather together and we have events. And hey, does that get us some group benefits like insurance that we couldn't get before? Does it get us things like added into a government's coaching program? Absolutely. So I think that's our story. I think that's why the karate world works well, and that's how eventually after 50 years, karate got accepted in the Olympics. You know, the best thing I ever did was to go to Japan initially and find out, hey, there's more than just the things in these four walls, not these particular walls, and other four walls. Then after that, was even better was to come back. You know, even though I got to the center of where karate was in Japan, it was kind of weird. I was in a really isolated place, really isolated. Like everything I could do, everything I could think of about what karate was a big question mark because there was really no tournaments in town. There's no way I could interact with other groups. And so I got out of that city to another bigger city, and then I went straight to Tokyo. And I got to see things at the very center. And when I went there for like 10 years, I got to be teaching karate as a full-time instructor, be interacting with all kinds of events. But the best thing was then to leave, because actually when you're outside of the center, you can do more. When you're outside of where everything is really established, you have more opportunity. So I think the thing, especially with coming back outside of Japan, is when people bump into me, it was kind of like when people bumped into me in Japan. They might have like their lens of like, what's my rank? Whose rank are you? How much money do you make? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to do something just for your style? People bump into me and they go, what? There's something different here. He's not looking at things the way I'm looking at things. Because I'm only looking at things for the civic good. And that relates back to my story, right? So in my story originally, I wasn't allowed to get out into the world and do things with all the other karate groups. I had to finally figure that out for myself, become a young grown-up and jump out, get into the pool, and it was no one's fault, just me learning how to grow as an individual, like someone going from high school to university and then moving out into the business world. So my story was getting out there and finding out what everyone else was doing and what karate was really about, and then trying to be a participant in it and a supporter in it. And then when you finally own a club and you start teaching people, what you really want to do is make sure that, like in our club, we're a gateway to all the other cool things that people want to do. Do you want to go to tournaments? Great. Do you want to do black belt tests? Fantastic. Do you want to go travel somewhere like Japan or Europe and meet people and do all kinds of fun stuff and learn new things? For sure. We'll tell you who we know, or we'll tell you how to get there, or we'll help you organize it. Do you want to do a homestay somewhere in Japan? Fantastic. Let's help you do that. I think the thing is, now that we have this full-time club and we get to interact with all these amazing people, is that it's really, really precious. And for me, every day for it is a gift, which I think is why a lot of people, when they bump into me, go, hey, isn't he out like just to protect his style or just to show off his Dan rank? And actually, none of that is important to me. I really want to know that, hey, if I can help out someone go to a tournament, if I can help organize an event, someone calls me up and goes, hey, come down here and let's do something together, that to me is the coolest thing. That to me is the win. And I think when the Olympics is happening And the Olympics has its own sort of, ecosystem and its good and bad traits. But when that sunlight comes towards us, it can benefit everybody. So that's what I think is really important. Now, I also know when people bump into me, they think I'm kind of weird. Look at this. I'm making a video. This is kind of weird. But you know what? I kind of don't care. I think I've always been weird. I've always been at that point where I'm just a little bit more keen than the next person on something I really like, and I'm going to think about it a little bit longer. I'm going to deconstruct it in my head. When I was studying in Japan in a master's program and focused all my time on how did karate globalize, right? How did it globalize? That would drive some people insane. I would ask a lot of questions, and I would try and figure it out, sometimes from how my story fit into it. But the reason that I don't care is I'm in this for the long game. I really, really want people to be in this room and just to have a fantastic time, to think that this is the best part of their whole day is to come here. And I hope that other people and their clubs have exactly the same thing. When your students show up, you're giving them the best experience of their day. Not, hey, I'm the big boss, you have to do as I say, or I need to create a cult. No, I want you to give them, and this is to myself, when I say I want myself to give the students the absolute best thing they can. Be truthful. Tell them, hey, your performance today was just a 6. But hey, maybe my coaching today was just a 6. So we got to work on this together. That's why I'm in it for the long game. I need to take care of this, and I need to take care of my family, right? Really, I'm in it for us. I'm in it for everything. I'm in it for legacy. Legacy isn't money, and it's not power. It's everybody having a better opportunity at a higher level. That's what I'm in it for. And if you think I've got some ideas here, put a comment on my new page. I look forward to interacting with everybody. It's Richard. I'll talk to you later.